welcome to arguably the home of world motorsport. Yes, that's right, we're in England, the United Kingdom, for the second round of the European Kart Racing Championships. The PFI circuit outside of Nottingham, in fact, it's one of the few tracks in the world that features a figure eight over and under style bridge. It's the second round of the Euro Series for the KF and the KF Junior classes. But before we get to the racing on track, let's have a look back and see what happened in the series opener, Portimao, Portugal, 1 month ago. Yes, indeed, it was a fantastic start to the series in the sunshine of Portugal. Now, let's have a look at what happened in qualifying and the heat races right here in England. With the temperature in England hovering at just 12 degrees, it was no surprise to see the driver from Finland, Konsta Lapalainen, take pole position. The Tony Kart driver lapped the PFI circuit in 55.117 seconds. Second fastest was the driver from Jakarta, Indonesia, Presley Martono, while Rasmus Lind from Sweden was third fastest in qualifying aboard his Ricardo kart. A lot was expected of the British drivers at their home round of the series, the fastest of which was Clement Novalak. He was fourth quickest, but then we had to go down all the way to position number 17. Alex Quinn in his CRG, but a lot of work to do for Teddy Wilson. He was down in position number 34. Good qualifying effort from the Dane Noah Watt. He was 8th, Semi Worship 10th, and the American Logan Sargent was 12th. Christian Lundgaard was 16th in qualifying, but we look down to position number 25, David Vidales, and in position number 29, Kushmani. Remember, they had that huge accident at the opening round of the series in Portimao, Portugal, just 1 month ago. Whilst Red Bull F1 star Daniel Ricciardo was racing the Austrian Grand Prix, his team driver Rasmus Lind took his Ricciardo kart to 3 heat wins and finished on top of the classification after Saturday's heats. The Brit Clement Novalak was looking very, very strong. He took a heat win. He was classified second overall. Presley Martono also took a heat win, third ahead of Marta Garcia, and Christian Lundgaard, already a winner in the WSK series earlier in 2015. Alex Quinn, the Brit, recovered from 17th. He was 6th after the heats, ahead of Frederick Vesti, the Dane, and Logan Sargent, comfortably inside the top 10. Konsta Lapalainen, the fastest qualifier, had a difficult run through the heats, but he was still there, classified 10th, but a lot of work to do for the first round winner, Kenny Roosens, the Belgian. Remember, he won in Portugal. After the heat races, he was way down in position number 28. After showing so much speed throughout the year, it was the Dutchman Richard Verschoor, the RB racing driver, who finally took a pole position in 2015. He was just 0.043 of a second ahead of the Dane Nicholas Nielsen and the Finnish driver Juha Valtonen in third place. Petro Hiltbrand, who's also racing the Gearbox Championship, let's remember he was fourth. Lorenzo Travisanuto, he was the first Italian, now racing a green Tony kart for the rest of the series, one ahead of Alexander Vartanian, the first round winner, the Englishman Ben Henley, on his home circuit. He was 8th in the Mad Croc kart, ahead of his Finnish teammate Thomas Happalainen in 9th. Leonardo Larandi rounding out the top 10, ahead of the Kiwi Marcus Armstrong. The Tony Kart Racing Team driver was 11th. On the podium in the first round of the series, Felice Tiene was the third quickest Italian, but he was down in position number 16. Meanwhile, the former world champion Tom Joyner, another Englishman, down in position number 23, behind the former European champion, his countryman Benjamin Barnicoat, the Birrell Art driver, with a lot of work to do in the heats. The Englishman Ben Henley showed why he's one of the best racing drivers in the world in any category. He came from grid number 8 to take 3 heat wins and top the classification on Saturday evening. Richard Verschoor also with 3 heat wins. He was second, ahead of Petro Hiltbrand, the Russian, Alexander Vartanian, and Felice Tiene, who recovered superbly. 16th in qualifying, 5th at the end of the heat races. The Estonian, Yuri Vips, one ahead of the American Juan Correa, and Jordan Lennox-Lamb, another British driver inside the top 10. Nicholas Nielsen, the Dane, the Tony Kart driver, the favourite for the series. The start of the year, he was in 10th, ahead of his teammate Marcus Armstrong, the New Zealander, only in position number 11th. The former European champion Ben Barnicoat was 13th, and his countryman Tom Joyner, the Englishman, he was now up into 16th after that disastrous qualifying effort and was starting to make his presence felt on the PFI circuit right here in England. The start of the KF Junior Pre-Final saw the Swede Rasmus Lind bolt into the lead aboard his Ricardo kart. This new team for 2015 have produced a chassis that's very, very quick, and Lind took it to the front. He was soon followed by the Indonesian Presley Martono, and they were soon joined by Marta Garcia. The young girl from Valencia, Spain, made it a 3-way fight for the lead. It wasn't long before the 2 Tony karts of Clement Novalak and Christian Lundgaard got involved in the fight, and before long, 1st to 10th was separated by just a few metres on this PFI circuit. Tragedy would strike for the Swedish driver, Lind, out of the race with a broken axle. That allowed a very determined Presley Martono to walk away with the pre-final. He would in fact go on to win by 3.5 seconds. A great drive by the Englishman, Alex Quinn. He came home in 2nd spot aboard his CRG, ensuring an outside front row start for the final. Good effort by the Belgian, Ulissi Dupau. In the Birrell Art, he was 3rd, and the American Logan Sargent. Marta Garcia held on for 5th, ahead of the Indian, Pushmani. All the way from Bangalore, India. 6th home in the pre-final, ensuring a row 3 start for the final. Frederic Vesti, the Dane, 7th, head of the Brazilian Felipe Drugovic, Novalak and Lundgaard, the 2 Tony karts, rounding out the top 10. The start of the pre-final saw the Englishman Ben Henley on his home circuit bolt into the lead. Richard Verschoor from the outside of the front row was shuffled back to 4th. He was beaten into turn 1 by the Spaniard Pedro Hiltbrand and his CRG teammate Felice Tiene. From there, Henley went on to lead much of the race, but it was not an easy fight. The Englishman had to withstand the challenges of Hiltbrand, Tiene, the American Juan Correa. Richard Verschoor did recover, and coming charging through from the back of the field, another Englishman, Tom Joyner, who would go on to finish in 5th. Alexander Vartanian, the Russian, had a great battle with the American Correa. Marcus Armstrong, the New Zealander, on the tail of the top 10. In fact, at one stage it was CRG's 1 and 2, Hiltbrand and Tiene, but they would fade. Henley would retake the lead. He would go on to win the pre-final. He will start the final from pole position. For sure, he would finish second ahead of Hiltbrand, Correa, Joyner, Vartanyan, the former European champion Ben Barnecoat, Van Leven and Nielsen. Unfortunately, Jordan Lennox-Lamb, another English driver, he was out on his home circuit and will have a lot of work to do come charging through for the final later this afternoon. Bad luck for the Italian Felice Tiene. He would fade and only finish 12th. That's an outside row 6 start for the final. Stay with us on Motors TV. We'll be back for the finals, the second round of the European Championships, in just a few moments. The second round of the European Championships in England, and we go green. It is the Indonesian Presley Martono who leads down into turn 1. Great start by Elise Dupau. Up into second spot, it looks as though Marta Garcia, the young girl from Spain, she's into third. Alex Quinn, the Brit, up into fourth spot as they make their way down the back straight for the first time. It is Martono, Dupau, Garcia, Alex Quinn. Then it looks as though we've got one of the energy cars. That's Frederik Vesti, the Dane, up into position number 5. Martono leads from Dupau. Great start by the Birrell Art driver. That's the young Belgian in second spot. Marta Garcia still in third. Then it's Quinn, Vesti, the American Logan Sargent driving for Ricky Flynn Motorsport in position number 6, driving the Alonso kart. But it's Martono who's going to lead across the line for the first time. Down pit straight, driving for the Baby Race team based out of northern Italy, is this driver from Jakarta, Indonesia, flat out through turn 1, up under the bridge. Look how bumpy it gets. Look at the move by the Belgian, nicely done by Elise Dupau. Wow, Marta Garcia follows through. Martono's back into third spot. Then it's Quinn, Frederik Vesti, Logan Sargent, Clement Novalak's getting involved. Alex Quinn. Wow, the local driver now up into position number 3. Presley Martono, the Indonesian, now being shuffled back through the field. Clement Novalak, the other Brits trying to join into this battle. You can see fighting there, 2 and 3 wide back in the field. Here comes Alex Quinn, now up into position number 2. Marta Garcia has to concede the spot. The back straight into the hairpin. It's Quinn from Garcia, Martono, Logan Sargent. The driver all the way from the USA is now joining into this fight. But there's your race leader, the Belgian, Elise Dupau for Birrell Art. Then it's Quinn from Cornwall in England. Home round of the circuit for the British drivers, of which there is a very large contingent. Martono up into third spot, starting to recover. Now up on the podium provisionally, but there's a long way to go in this race. Currently being led by the Belgian, Elise Dupau. Then it's Alex Quinn. Let's have a look back through the field. Martono in third. Then it's Garcia. Logan Sargent still hangs in fifth spot. Clement Novalak as Dupau goes very, very wide, coming onto the start-finish straight. That's allowed Alex Quinn to go through into the lead. The Brit leads his home round of the series. Up under the bridge, it is the CRG leading the Birrell Art. Over the bridge they go up the back straight. It's Quinn from Dupau, Martono, Garcia, Logan Sargent. That's your top 5. And Martono, Garcia and Sargent, who you can see on screen right now, are starting to gain in on the leaders. Felipe Drugovic in position number 7 behind Clement Novalak. Martono up the inside. Nicely done. So Elise Dupau from leading the race is now back into third, having been passed by Martono, and now starting to come under pressure from Logan Sargent and Marta Garcia. They are currently off the podium as it stands. We have got Martono, the Indonesian, in second spot. The Belgian in third, that is Elise Dupau, but the Brit, Alex Quinn, leading on his home circuit. Across the line one more time, Dupau in the slipstream of Martono. Garcia and Sargent right behind, up under the bridge. Move up the inside, Logan Sargent goes through on Marta Garcia. That was nicely done by the American. all the way from the USA, Logan Sargent now in position number 4, driving for the British Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. Under the bridge one more time, Martono goes through on Quinn. He now takes the lead. The driver from Jakarta, he started on pole, was shuffled back to 4th, has now retaken position number 1, but has to drive very, very defensively. He will hold it into the hairpin. Dupau in 2nd spot, then it's Sargent, then it's Quinn, then Marta Garcia from Valencia in Spain. Any one of these drivers capable of taking the win here this afternoon. So they come together. Oh, there's been a big coming together. Logan Sargent and Ulissi Dupau, body contact. They're out of it. Look at the gap. Garcia's now into position number 3. Presley Martona with a massive lead. Garcia had to take very evasive action out into the grass. She's managed somehow to hold on to position number 3. But look at this. The driver from Jakarta, Presley Martono, driving for Team Baby Race in the Tony Kart, has a lead of 2.5 seconds. Just a few corners to go now for the driver from Indonesia to take the win. It is indeed Presley Martono who wins in England. What a drive. Alex Quinn comes home in position number 2. Across the line for the final step of the podium, it is indeed Clement Novalak who just holds on from Logan Sargent. But it's all about the Indonesian. Presley Martono wins the 2nd round of the European Championships. What a drive, nicely done. He wins it for Team Baby Race.
Into the final, you know, I just had one mind and I just had one goal, which was just to stay focused and head down and focus as much as I can to get in front and lead. But that didn't happen because I got passed straight away in the 2nd lap by Ulissi Dupau, which was a really good move. At the end, after a great battle, I managed to win, and it's just unbelievable.
125cc Senior KF category, 2nd round of the European Championships. We go green in England. It is Ben Hanley who will lead down into turn number 1. One kart very sideways in the grass. That's Casper Rose from Denmark. Does recover, pushes out Lorenzo Travisanuto very wide, but it is going to be Ben Hanley who will lead them across the bridge for the first time. It is the Englishman from Pedro Hilbrand from Spain down the back straight for the first time. 3rd place is Tom Joyner, Juan Correa, the American in 4th. Then Richard Verschoor, the Dutchman. Up the inside goes Tom Joyner on Pedro Hilbrand. Nicely done on the opening lap of the race. That means we've got England 1 and 2 at the English round of the European Championships. The MC01, the Mad Croc driver. Yes, that's right. That's the name of the kart. That's the name of the team. And Ben Hanley is leading nicely from his countryman. Hilbrand in the CRG, he's 3rd. From Juan Correa, Tom Joyner up into the lead now. He passes his countryman, looks behind him over the shoulder. Henley fights back. Wow, brilliant, brilliant driving. The 2nd round of the Euro Champs has come alive here at PFI. It is Joyner, Henley, Pedro Hilbrand, Richard Verschoor, the Dutchman, now up into position number 4. Then it's Juan Correa. They come across the straight. Henley, Joyner, Hilbrand. Then we see Verschoor, position number 5, the Dutch RB racing driver under the bridge. Hilbrand in 3rd spot. The 2 English drivers. Here comes Henley. No, in fact, it's Joyner. Joyner has gone through into the lead. Remember, Tom Joyner is the 2013 World Champion. He had a disastrous 2014 by his own admission. He only qualified in position number 23, but now he leads the final. Ben Hanley in position number 2. Then it's Hilbrand. Verschoor still holds on to 4th spot. Correa, Ben Barnicoat, European champion from 4 years ago. He's now up into 6th, heading the Russian Alexander Vartanyan. There's Verschoor now. He's up onto the podium provisionally. He's gone through into position number 3 ahead of Correa. This is unbelievable racing here at PFI in England. Up the back straight, the 144 Zanardi kart of Tom Joyner. He heads his countryman Ben Hanley, the 30-year-old from Manchester in England. Verschoor in 3rd spot from Correa. We watch them through the infield part of the circuit. Vartanyan starting to move up a little bit. That's Verschoor. Oh, what a move! Nicely done by the Dutchman over the bridge. He took Ben Hanley. Hanley tries to fight back. Vasseur defends his line. That was a sensational move by Richard Vasseur. He's in position number 2, but only just because Ben Hanley is trying to fight back. It is now Britain 1 and 3 here in the United Kingdom. The English round of the European Championships. It's Joyner from Vasseur. Hanley down through the pit corner. Joyner under attack from Vasseur, and now the Dutchman has gone through into the lead. The British domination is broken. It is Holland leading England in 2nd and 3rd, then the American Juan Correa. Hilbrand still holds on to position number 5. But we've got a new race leader, the RB Racing Team driver in the Esprit chassis, Richard Vasseur, just 17 years of age. From the Netherlands, he leads across the line one more time. Let's have a look at the replay. Nicely done, very, very clean racing. The 102 RB Racing car takes the 2013 World Champion Tom Joyner. You look at Ben Hanley on screen, up over the bridge. Remember the PFI circuit along with Alahama in Finland, Zwartkop, South Africa, and Dubai is one of the few tracks in the world with an over and under bridge as Tom Joyner retakes the lead. English domination is restored here in Lincolnshire because Joyner, the Englishman, leads from the Manchester driver. That's Ben Hanley. Now Juan Correa, the American, up into position number 3. This has been a brilliant recovery from Tom Joyner. He only qualified 23rd. He had a good run through the heats. He's now leading as Correa goes through on Hanley. Hanley has to concede the spot. Vasseur looks behind him in 4th. He has a go at Ben Hanley. So we have a Zanardi kart leading an Energy, an MC01, an Esprit and a CRG. That is your top 5. But Tom Joyner is going to bounce back to form. He's just a few corners away from taking a win here in the United Kingdom. Ben Hanley in 3rd position behind Correa through the pit complex under the bridge. Hanley chasing down Correa up the inside. Nicely done goes Ben Hanley. British domination is restored here in England. It is Joyner and Hanley. Correa in 3rd, under attack from Richard Vasseur. The Dutchman now up into position number 3, but he loses out on the exit. A touch with Petro Hilbrand. Nicholas Nielsen now gets involved along with Felice Tieni. What a brilliant race, the 2nd round of the European Championships here at PFI. But the Union Jack is going to fly high here in England because Tom Joyner will take the win, the 2nd round of the European Championships. Ben Hanley across the line in 2nd. Juan Correa, the American, the final step of the podium.
It's going to be a bit difficult to beat Ben. We'll give it our best shot. We need to have a good round in Sweden. Missing the points in the heats is a little bit of a disappointment here, but we'll try and give it our best shot and try and use our Zanardi chassis to win the championship.
Despite a difficult round here in England, it is still Kenny Roosens who leads the junior standings. Clement Novalak is 2nd, and that win here at PFI moves the Indonesian Presley Martono up into 3rd in the championship. A win in Portugal and a 2nd here today in England means Ben Hanley is within touching distance of the 2015 championship. Tom Joyner is his closest challenger, while Felice Tiene in 3rd place, but a lot of work to do in Sweden if he's to take out the 2015 European Championships. Once again, this world-class circuit has produced a world-class event. From here, the Euro Champs moves to Kristianstad in Sweden for the final. And then we count down to the big one, the World Championships for 2015, La Conca, Murolacese, Italy, September 27. But for now, on behalf of all the team at PF International Circuit England, we'll see you next time for the European Kart Racing Championships on Motors TV.